Here at the On3 Elite Series with Tennessee quarterback commit. The man, it's a home game for you, George MacIntyre. How we feeling, man? Having fun at the event? Obviously not your first time in Nashville, as you are from Nashville. But how you liking it so far?
Yeah, it's been great. Being able to connect with a lot of top guys and a lot of media here, so it's been a lot of fun.
You got the ice too, man. You're dressing to
GLD just
impress.
blessed me.
It looks
GLD just
good.
blessed me.
You got the Tennessee wristband too. We were talking too before we got over here. How nice is it to be at an event like this? A lot of guys uncommitted, trying to figure out the next phase, and you're like, hey, I'm locked in, man. I know where I'm going. It's right down the road. I mean, is that just so much of a weight off the shoulders going to something like this?
Yeah, for sure. I think you're once you commit, your main as a quarterback at least your main job is to recruit, and I think this is a great ground to do that in. We got a lot of top guys, got a lot of my friends, got a lot of Tennessee prospects, stuff like that. So it was definitely a working weekend.
We got the that recruiting hat on. Who are we after? Who are we going after this
I'll say
weekend?
number one, David Sanders. I think he's the number one target that we have now, uncommitted. The whole building knows that. The whole university knows that. It's David time. And then Jamie Fringe is big. We like him. We like him a lot. He's really cool. He was just here last weekend. Him and David were together.
Cool.
We're all kicking it in Neyland. Travis Smith's here. He's a really good player. We like him a lot. I actually just was able to meet him just now. This is what we're talking about.
Cool.
Connecting, getting to connect here. This would never happen without On3. So,
dude, David Sanders is massive.
Massive.
Like walking through here, and I'm like, that's an NFL offensive lineman.
Oh, yeah.
Just like walking around in a high schooler's, I guess, eligibility, if that's the right word. I mean, that's massive. What are the conversations like with him to get into Tennessee?
So me and Dave have been friends for a long time. We've connected on Clemson visits, Alabama visits. We didn't know where we were going. We stayed friends all throughout. He's always like Tennessee, telling me before I was between Tennessee and Bama, and he was texting me, hey, Tennessee.
There you go.
I'm thinking Tennessee more. So, I think now we've switched positions, and now I'm saying you got to come to Tennessee. So, he's been great. Yeah, he's a great dude.
That's awesome, man. Obviously, Josh Heupel has majored in recruiting and developing quarterbacks. Is there a lot of communication between you and some of the guys already in that room? Jake Merklinger was here last year. Nico's obviously there right now. What's the communication like between guys that are already on the roster?
Yeah, I mean, while I'm there, we hang out, sit in the quarterback meeting and stuff like that. They're all good people, all good dudes. Jake, Nico, Gaston, a couple more. Coach Halsey, Coach Mitch, they do a great job in there. Coach Heupel sits in the quarterback room almost every day. So, their quarterback support system is very, very good.
So is it already okay, we're digesting the offense, even though we still got our senior season to play? You're starting to pick up the installs, or how heavy is that on your end?
Funny thing is, this is my fourth offense this year in high school.
Right.
Actually, I had an OC switch. So I had 3 OCs, 4 offenses. So, I'm going to say definitely a more focus on learning BA's offense this year.
Sure.
But, I think my sophomore year, we ran a lot of stuff that was, wide split, vertical option, stuff like that. That was very similar. I really enjoyed being in it, and maybe I have a little bit of head start just from running that.
And this is probably the bad question to ask, but is there a thought process for you of okay, come in and maybe redshirt a year, or is there a discussion between you and the staff at this point with what that blueprint could look like for you when you get to Knoxville?
I think it definitely came up in recruiting talk, stuff like that. But I don't want them to set a path for me. I don't want them to have me in some position where I'm the next guy or something. I just want to go in there every day and attack every day like I'm the starter. And then, when it comes time for me to be the starter, I'll be ready to kill.
I love that. That's a quarterback answer right there, baby. That's a face the franchise kind of answer. We talked to a couple other guys about this same thing, because right now in modern college football, there is so much being thrown at you, period, much less to be in your position as a quarterback committed to a major school like Tennessee. How do you handle being able to maximize the opportunities off the field, but also be able to keep the main thing, and be more or less the face of a franchise?
Yeah, I would say my parents help a lot, with negotiations between schools and all the other brands and stuff. Them and my agents kind of handle all of it, and then they bring it to me. I say yes or no, and I sign the paper or don't sign the paper. So
gotcha.
Stuff like that, they've kept a lot of weight off my shoulders where I keep the main thing. And I think the big thing about Tennessee is their NIL support has always started. Coach Heupel's always been an advocate for NIL. He basically got it legalized in Tennessee. He's always thought players should be compensated for their play and stuff like that. So, feeling good that the sports system comes from the top where I'm committed to.
For sure. Yeah. Donda Plowman is just out there dunking on all the other legislation. I don't pretend to know all of it, but I know she's doing work.
Oh, yeah. And
making it happen.
Danny White, Austin will tell you about it. They're all good people.
They're going to work. They're going to work, man. Well, let's leave you with this. We're about to jump into the senior campaign for George MacIntyre. Any goals we got set out before we call it a career at Brentwood Academy?
Man, it wouldn't feel right leaving without a state championship in football. I've done it in basketball. I've seen them do it in track. And growing up, the reason I went to BA is because we won every year and everything. And I think we got to bring it back to that way starting this year. So
there it is. Nashville's very own playing recruiter this week at the On3 Elite Series. George MacIntyre. George, appreciate you, brother. Best of luck.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Excited to watch you, man.
Yes.
Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.